the night of this meeting. So welcome everybody. We do know that some of you are watching the recording. Thank you so much for taking the time to do so. Because different small groups and all have started on Tuesday nights, we have decided that our next meeting and moving forward are going to be on Monday nights. I try to stay away from Monday nights because people with kids, that's a big homework night, but just plan ahead, okay? But again, I want to introduce Stacy, and Stacy is a mentor team leader. So if you see her driving, she's being very safe, I hope. And she's actually going to the Dream Center right now to meet with her mentee. We have Stephanie Lang, who also works at the Dream Center. She should have 100 titles. The woman does everything. She's amazing. If you can ever experience a Dream Center tour with her, you'll cry, you'll laugh. She's amazing. Sue Tully and Jim, they're, well, on my screen, they're like across from each other. Jim is where Alice, the housekeeper, would be, and Sue is where the youngest of the pretty girls would be. But,
Okay.
Separate rooms. Separate rooms.
they are actually married and they're a delightful couple. And then Liz worked with the Stop Traffic Walk last year. We're so glad to have her back. Patricia's brand new. She's also our mentor team leader, brand new to the committee this year. And then of course, y'all know we have the amazing Jeff May, who multi-talented and was very smart and married up. And then Alicia, it'll take him a minute. And then Alicia, who
I agree.
she's the brains of this operation. She is amazing. And I don't know what I would do without her. I don't know what we did up until now without her. So we're all going to start taking up a contribution and make sure she never quits. So one of the things that we want to talk to you guys about tonight is I'm going to let Jeff lead off, and we're going to talk a little bit about what is going on as far as the walk tied to celebration of Christmas as well as the Super Bowl. So right before we do that, I don't want to put anybody on the spot. You know what, Stephanie, I'll put you on the spot. Stephanie, we're all believers. Would you mind terribly opening us in prayer?
Not at all. Oh, dear God, I just thank you so much for tonight. I thank you for all those who could be here tonight and those who will be watching later, God. I just thank you for giving us this opportunity to come together and just serve you through this event, through all the work that each of us are doing on the side, God. I thank you for just providing us each with the opportunities to reach out to those closest to us in businesses, and ultimately, God, just be able to end human trafficking. That is our goal. I fully believe that you are going to allow us to see it end in our lifetime. And so we pray that events like this is what's going to, lead us towards that goal, God. And so I just pray over this meeting. I pray over the time that our leaders have poured into just preparing for it. And I just pray that each of us can have open ears to hear what they have for us. And that we can each just kind of progress forward moving, God. And so we just thank you, and it's in your holy name we pray, amen.
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 Yay. Put her on the spot and she rose to the occasion.
She's great.
Love this girl. Okay, so Jeff,
And she's beautiful too.
Thank you.
beautiful inside and out. So Jeff, tell us what's going on.
Yes, so I'm going to talk about two things. The first is the celebration of Christmas. If you're not familiar with that is a Christmas production that Dream City Church puts on. It's the 43rd annual this year. We have approximately 60 to 70,000 people a year come through this show. And we are going to have an opportunity to, in the lobby beforehand, have a table with information that people can, engage with the walk. We're going to have the opportunity to follow up with email campaigns and things like that for the walk. So we're kind of over the next few days and weeks understanding exactly the depth that we're going to be able to engage with those people. But at the very least, we know that we're going to be having a table at that production. It is the largest Christmas production west of Radio City. So it's a fantastic production if you haven't seen it. It runs Wednesday through Sundays for 2 weeks in December. That's December 7th through 11th, and then the 14th through the 18th. 7 o'clock every night, and then we have a 3 o'clock show on both Saturdays and both Sundays. So it's a really exciting opportunity for us to engage with people who are there, promote the walk, things of that nature. We're going to have a QR code, things like that. So we'll probably be doing a giveaway. So if any of you are available, we would love to have, if each of you, if we could get like 5 or 6 people that would take 2 or 3 performances each to work the table before and after the show, that would be awesome. There might be some shows we might be able to arrange a free ticket for you, depending on how the show, if it's sold out or not. So can't make any promises with that, but we can do our best. If it's a possibility, we will. So, and that's literally, I mean, there are several thousand people per performance coming through. So it's a great opportunity. So that's one opportunity that's coming up. It's right before the walk. We did this a couple of years ago for our first walk, and we had a very high level of engagement. So we're trying to be creative with how we promote that to make the engagement even higher for this year. So we'll see, we'll be able to give more details on that at our next call. The other thing I wanted to just update you on that Joanne asked me about was the Super Bowl. So February 12th is the Super Bowl in Phoenix, which we're hosting. And we know that that same week is the Phoenix Open, which will bring, there will be over 700,000 people just in attendance at the event itself. That's not counting all the people that travel with them. I think it's estimated it's like 1.2 million people come to the Valley for this event. So 2 major sporting events in 1 week here in Phoenix. So because of that, we just want to take the opportunity to really focus on the human trafficking conversation, because we have an opportunity that we don't have any other time. So we have had the opportunity to be a part of some of the efforts that are going on through the Super Bowl committee for human trafficking. They have a committee for human trafficking. And so we're going to be partnering with several organizations as well as the NFL. There's a big event on the day before the Super Bowl. It's a breakfast that Tony Dungy hosts. It's all the player coaches, all the owners of the team. That's at the JW Marriott. So we'll be a part of that that day. There's several events like that. We are partnering with quite a few organizations who are coming to town for that, who are part of the committee for every year. One of those is It's a Penalty. I just met with them again this morning. This was our 4th or 5th meeting. They do these signs everywhere: Ubers, bed and breakfast, hotels, airports, all over. They do signs and they do public awareness. They do billboards everywhere. They do that 3 weeks out. They'll be having videos that play on American airline flights beginning January 1st, Southwest airline flights. And the Where Hope Lives is going to be branded with that. So all of those ads will have Where Hope Lives, which is the name of our entire program. As part of that, we're going to be part of their press conference. And they do this every year at the Super Bowl. The good news about that for us is that, first of all, we get to be a part of some great efforts here in Phoenix that are going to help us really combat human trafficking and make new relationships, form new partnerships, people who can, like Stephanie said, really try to end this. It's everyone's goal. But the exciting thing that's happening that we really didn't anticipate is that we're setting the groundwork for partnerships for future Super Bowls. So we have the Stop Traffic Walk in multiple cities around the country. And this January 7th, we have the first annual Stop Traffic Walk in Vegas, which is the location of the Super Bowl next year after Phoenix. We also have a walk in New Orleans, which is the Super Bowl the following year. So these organizations are very excited, very motivated that we are not only able to help them here in Phoenix, but we're going to be able to, in future cities, have partners on the ground to say, hey, with all of your efforts, we can connect you with people day one before you ever arrive there. So it's a really exciting partnership that I believe God is orchestrating, and we're just, hopefully going to see a lot of great things come out of that. I'm cautiously optimistic that there could be some very strong relationships with the NFL. So the spokesperson for It's a Penalty this year, they have 3, but the one that their primary spokesperson is Aaron Rodgers. with the Green Bay Packers. He's one of the biggest, if not the biggest quarterback. So these are just the people who are now, like, our brand is going to be with them. It's just a really, really great opportunity, a lot of open doors. But I just want to put on everyone's radar that 3 weeks before the Super Bowl is when all the efforts really ramp up around the Super Bowl committee. So our walk is 2 weeks before. A lot of these groups are going to be at our walk this year, but there will be efforts, and we'll need your help past the walk. Honestly, the 2 weeks after our walk, before the Super Bowl, it's kind of an all hands on deck moment. This is an opportunity we only get, I think it was 2015 or 17, the last time it was here. So we don't get this opportunity very often. So it's really all hands on deck. We have groups coming in from out of town, missions teams coming in to help with these efforts and these outreach efforts. So it's a really, really exciting opportunity for all of us to, raise some awareness for the program Where Hope Lives, which as you know, the adult programs at the Dream Center, our juvenile programs at Streetlight, and our familial program is at the Short Creek Dream Center. It's a great opportunity to bring awareness to that, but also just a great opportunity to really make a dent in the fight against human trafficking. So I'm really excited for it. I love being a part and seeing God open the doors that we could never open on our own. So we'll be giving you more details of what that participation can look like in the next month or so. We'll have a lot more detail actually by this time next month, by our next meeting. But if you could just put that on your radar, that kind of January, February through the Super Bowl, we need all hands on deck as much as possible. And that's you all, that's your friends, that's your family, that's your churches, that's your Sunday school, that's your small groups, that's as many people as we can get helping. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Joanna, is there anything I didn't cover that you wanted?
That was great. That was great. So the first thing we're going to really look at, you guys, is the celebration of Christmas, because if we can have a table at every single celebration of Christmas, that would be great. But that is not all on us. So what we're going to want you to start doing is maybe, get your kids involved, get your grandkids involved, get your friends involved. It's not that just this many people and then a few others have to be at the table every single time. It's going to be having maybe 5 or 6 leaders who will make sure that whoever's going to be at the table knows what they're supposed to do. Basically, you hand out flyers, tell people to take a picture of the QR code, form a team, encourage them to do so. However whatever that looks like.
We're also going to be doing a giveaway of AirPods, the old bribery to get them to register and start a team.
Yeah. And I'd asked Jeff, I go, if they go to the afternoon, production or the evening production, can we get tickets to the other one? But you guys, the celebration of Christmas is already selling out. So if you want to look at your schedule and look at, what celebration of Christmas you want to go to, if it's on a Saturday or Sunday, maybe you could take the shift that afternoon or that evening. So that way, you're not going back and forth, but it's going to be amazing. The show is, if you've never been, it's over the top. It's Broadway times 10. So you definitely want to plan to make sure that you go to that and, be a part of us doing the stop traffic walk there. We'll have the banner there, we'll have the flyers, and it's just talking to people. It's just, hey, do you have your team together yet? I talked about this today at our Stop Traffic Walk National meeting, that, I really target young people like in their late teens, early 20s, because when you can get one of those people on fire, their sphere of influence is amazing. And, women tend to, once we get our teeth sunk into a cause, we tend to push the men into jumping on board as well. Not that the men don't embrace it, but it is a woman's cause. And although we have guys that are trafficked, it's really driven by, the power of females. So also, if you're going to Women Make the Difference, we're going to have a table there. You know, you might want to jump in and just help hand out flyers or whatever. We have to have a presence, because what happens around November 15th, November 20th is we kind of lose people until after Christmas. We fall off their radar. It's all about family. It's all about travel. And it should be. It should be. But then we've got to plant the seeds now, do the work now, so that during the holidays we don't lose people completely. So yeah, it's just at the table, it's just 1 to 2 people. I always like to have a partner in crime, so that if somebody has to run off real quick to the restroom or whatever, they can. And it's always more fun to do things in pairs. I'm a team girl. I like teams. So, and I think Stephanie just put something in the chat as well about volunteers. Stephanie, what'd you say?
I was just saying it would be a really cool idea if like we invited our team to go and volunteer at the table.
Yeah.
So then you can say like, this is my team, like and they're helping, and like they can, and we can kind of give like a little pep talk to our team and saying like, we want other people to sign up. So like you representing our team, and they don't have to know a ton of information, but just saying, hey, like, hey, I signed up and it was easy and I just had to do this QR code. And so even having it in like that realm too would be cool.
And I will tell you,
we'll cover this in our training too, but Stephanie, you bring up a great point. This is not for shy people. We need people who are, no, I'm serious, like, because we did this in the past and there were a couple nights where people literally just stood there and didn't, they didn't interact with people. We need people who are going to say, hey, just welcoming, smiling, hey, sign up for the walk. I mean, it's a little bit of, the sign spinners on the corner, not quite like that, but like, you've got to be outgoing and engage with people, not be obnoxious. We'll kind of tell you what to do, but you do need to be a little bit outgoing and willing to put yourself out there. And a team is easier to do that. Great point, Stephanie.
Yeah. And one of the things that I want to bring to y'all's attention is when you're talking about who does the walk benefit. So write this down in your notes. It benefits where hope lives. Okay. Now, what does where hope lives encompass? That encompasses the juvenile, which is called Streetlight USA, the adult trafficking, which is Phoenix Dream Center, and familial trafficking, which is Short Creek or Colorado City. Okay. So I know that y'all are getting a lot of questions, and we've come up with this umbrella label, where hope lives, that includes the children, the adults, and family trafficking. So that may simplify things for you guys a little bit, because sometimes we talk about Phoenix Dream Center, or we talk about Streetlight, or we talk about Short Creek. All of where hope lives, just think of it as a giant umbrella that includes the juvenile, the adult, and the familial. Does that help a little bit in y'all's talking to people? Okay.
I think so. Joanna, can you hear me?
Yes.
I need to go back and ask Jeff a question about when he was talking earlier. He was talking about the Phoenix Open and roughly 1 million people there. Have you given any thought to trying to have something on the site of the Phoenix Open for that whole week? I mean, they have an area there where vendors set up. And
no, but I'd love to.
The tournament is run by a group called the Thunderbirds here in town. I'm pretty sure you know that. And I think that's the group we would have to contact to gain some traction there. Has anybody ever approached them?
So yes, that's a tough nut to crack. And I approached them not only a couple of years ago when I first started, but I also approached them with another organization that I was with. And it's a very, very tough nut to crack. And the thing that I learned is you have to know somebody in the Thunderbirds who's willing to carry the cause for you, or you're not going to get very far. I do not have that. So if you are able to make that happen, we will absolutely be there. Yes, 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 and yes. I mean, that's a huge event we would love to be at. So any way you could help us there, we would love.
I was talking to a gentleman Sunday night, who is in the Thunderbirds. I don't know how much weight he carries, but he's very interested in the walk. Because I'm supposed to talk to him again here this week, later this week. And I can approach him, with trying to gain us entry to the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
I would say the first thing to say is just, hey, where would we go? Who would we talk to? Could you arrange that meeting? And then, if you can set that up, Joanna and I, or one or both of us, could go talk to them. I mean, we can carry the ball,
Yeah.
but we need the door open for us, and that's where you can help us.
Yeah.
Or this
Okay.
gentleman.
I will try to open that door. The other question, has anybody approached the new management at the Marriott Desert Ridge?
There's a lot with JW Marriott Desert Ridge.
That's another meeting that you and Joanna probably need to have. Yes.
Yeah, so Jim, I probably need to talk to you about that because I'm actually speaking to a group that is the Marriott Properties Leadership Group. Stephanie and I are doing a presentation for them
Okay.
about human trafficking. And of course, if I'm talking about human trafficking, we're talking about the walk. So we kind of have a door open there, but the more people we have connected before we get there, the better.
The general manager of Desert Ridge is Patricia Lunn. You probably
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've got that one covered then.
Well, I don't have it covered. I haven't met Patricia Lung, but I've got other contacts there that I'm talking to, not at the Marriott, but in this group. Stephanie, what's the name of the group again? It's all the Marriott Properties Leadership.
Yeah, so I don't know the name of the group, but it's basically like a conference that they're coming together and we get the opportunity to speak to them about, like, especially with human trafficking, and not human trafficking, with the Super Bowl coming. So like part of our presentation, I actually put in a slide of like what they can be looking towards, like specifically for hotel like employees, so like the receptionists, housekeeping, like those who are walking around, so like specific signs for them to look for, and then we can kind of promote the walk at the end. But it is like leaders from like multiple areas
Of all the Marriott properties in this
Mhm.
area. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I think, Jim, you and Joanna should probably get together and strategize about hitting it from multiple angles, because generally there's a greater success rate when they're hearing it in more places than one. So it sounds like, I mean, you and I have spoken and you have some pretty good connections there. So I think between the two of you, we can make some good inroads there.
Yeah.
Okay, because my plan was, before this conversation, was through some contacts I have there to be able to get into the general manager there and at least introduce the idea
Right.
and start there.
Yeah, that's good. That's really
Okay.
good. They should be, the JW Marriott should be a huge sponsor of the walk because they have they've got a whole group staying there. Who's staying there? It's in my another notebook. Not the NFL experience. They're not doing the NFL experience. They're doing
Yeah.
something else.
Is right here next door to me at the Scottsdale Resort.
Okay, that's right. That's what I was.
So if I could, Joanna, just mention to the other people on the call, I think it's important, one of the things we want people to do is to open these connections, open these opportunities for us. And it's just as simple as saying, hey, I'm involved in a walk for human trafficking. Would you be willing to meet with some leadership? So this is, and I'm putting him on the spot, but I don't really care because it's a good thing. Jim just opened the door for us with the Scottsdale Resort about a month or so ago and said, hey, would you guys be willing to start a team? So I went in with Jim, we met with them, and the guy was like, yep, absolutely, we're going to start a team. What happened from that meeting is he connected us with two other people that are the heads of corporations that are for all the hotels. One of those groups said, hey, sorry, we've already got a group we're working with, but the other one is the Arizona Hotel Tourism. I can't remember the exact name of it. But anyway, they work with every single hotel chain in Arizona. And they're going to let us come in and talk to all the hotel owners. So that came from Jim's one meeting with a general manager. And now we have the opportunity. I mean, there are opportunities with the Super Bowl with this, with a lot of things. So, you know, you never know where one business opportunity could, you know, one connection like that could lead to a lot of sponsorships. So, you know, props to Jim, but also just kind of as an inspiration to all of us, that if you have those connections, we'll do the talking. You just set up the meeting. You know, we went in there. I got the idea when we sat down. We didn't have much time, and I think we had about 10 minutes. We presented it, and he was very receptive, and you know, gave us this is what I need from you, and we took it from there.
And a suggestion that Stacy just made is everybody needs to have the Stop Traffic Walk flyers, a stack of them on you, and anywhere that you go, that you frequent. If it's a boutique, if it's a small business, if it's hair, nail, clothing, whatever, ask them, would you be willing to do a fundraiser? A 1 or 2 day or a weekend fundraiser for us. Here's some flyers. We put it on their, you know, outside their business, and we promote them on our website, and they promote us on their website. So she was mentioning farmers markets, like anywhere where you are in front of people, hand out these flyers and ask people, hey, will you start a team? Hey, will you be willing to do a fundraiser for us? Brittany File right now, she can't ever be on these because she has 4 kids and 17 dogs and 20 husbands, I think. I don't know. But anyway, she's got a lot going on, but she's like, oh my gosh, I'm taking kids to practice and feeding them dinner and doing this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, you know, she is doing this Kendra Scott thing again and trying to put one together with Lululemon. So basically you shop there anytime from, you know, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on these 2 dates or online and mention the Stop Traffic Walk, and 20% of everything goes towards the team. But more importantly is people are hearing about it. What is Stop Traffic Walk? Well, it's about human trafficking. Well, that doesn't happen here. It starts the conversation. It starts the conversation. And that's the important thing. Yeah, Liz, did you have a comment or a question?
I do. So I've got a lot of thoughts going through my head. One of the things, do we have a master list of who you've already contacted? No. Okay.
Because as committee members are thinking of businesses or contacting them, they are to email me or text me what businesses they're talking to.
Okay.
Yeah. Her wheels are spinning. I can literally smell the smoke. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm not feeling well. So
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Sue, you have been doing some chats with people, and you said some questions have come up that you want to us address. And I want you to tell everybody what the questions are, because they're going to get the same questions. You got to unmute yourself, honey.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, actually, right before the call, I finally went on to the frequently asked questions, and it did help a little bit. But I will tell you, I sat with Patricia this morning, and I know we had some questions she had some questions I couldn't answer. And then I sat with this salon owner. And if I can just say quickly, it is all about talking to everybody. I was at a social that I didn't know most of the people, but I had the opportunity to talk about stop traffic, and I gave out all the little flyers. And I got a call yesterday right before I was going out to talk to another bunch of women. And it was somebody who said, I got your name from Willie Wilson. I said, who? And it happened to be, I finally found out after talking to this lady that it was at this social that I met this woman who took my thing. She took it into the salon owner. The salon owner was who called me. I met with her today. She's going to do a team. She's putting up the things on each of her salon people's mirrors. But from that, I realized that even though Jeff talked about it before, I'm not as comfortable, now I did read it, with the questions up. Okay, so if I have somebody that can't afford to pay $99 to register, they can still come to the walk, they can still do the walk, but they don't get the perks, the little whatever, right?
The t-shirt, the armband, and the meal ticket.
Okay, and what about children? Are they $99 or is there a special different rate for children? How do we handle the children?
So the way it's, I mean, essentially anybody can come to the walk. This is a come one, come all. The only thing we require to get entry is that we have their email address and that they're officially registered.
So they do need to register, Jeff, online.
And they can do that there. We have people checking them in. They do it in 30 seconds, but they do need to register and they can do it there. It's that fee comes, that's where the support for the cause comes. That's where, you know, you get the added bonuses, the t-shirts, the things like that. Same with kids, like it's $99 for kids to get all of that, but you can buy a meal. It's not like you don't get to eat.
Right.
You can buy those things a la carte, and truth be told, they're less than $99. We're just trying to encourage donations to the cause.
Right. And so I approached it that way. I thought with this woman, I mean, obviously we want the $99. I explained why 99 was so pertinent. But if they happen to have family members that just can't afford, then they go there. My other question is, because this is my first stop traffic walk, I'm selling it as this is a family event. Like she said, I don't know if my husband will come because his ankles are bad. And I said, this is not that kind of a walk. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm selling it as this is a fun evening where we're all gathering to raise money for the cause. But most importantly, we also want to discuss education and awareness. But it's a fun night where there's food trucks, there's DJs, there's music and fun things for the kids. I don't know what the fun things for the kids are, like booth or.
Yeah, we have rock climbing walls, face painting, bounce houses, obstacle courses, all that. There's a big playground. So there's a lot for the kids. And like, people don't have to do the walk.
That's what I said.
It's less than a mile.
Yeah.
It's not very hilly or anything. A lot of people do it in wheelchairs. So it is handicap accessible.
Okay.
So
I'm selling it the right way. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
lots of strollers.
That's what I said. It's a stroll with your friend. I said, it's like go to the Right to Life March. You're walking with a group of 5 people and talking about everything and stopping and hugging the baby.
And then after the walk, there's a dance party.
Oh, the dance party is great. So, okay, so I got that right. Patricia, can you hear me? Are you still there?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I got everything answered, and I think I did for this lady. There is one other thing, and I've got to look at my notes and find out what it is.
Okay. We'll give her a
But if I don't, I'll catch you later.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Can you, like, when you register for a team, because I'm doing that right now, can you go back and do the 99, or like if you do just walk, are you kind of stuck in that? So like if I have somebody, like if I tell somebody to sign up for my team, like they're in their car, they don't have their wallet, and so they just want to sign up real quick, can they go back and do
I think so.
99?
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, you can fundraise. I mean, the whole point of the website is for people to raise money. So you can make a donation at any time. People can donate to you. If you've got a team and you don't give $1, but you've got people donating to your cause and you've raised $100, that's your $99.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't have to be your donation. It needs to be on your personal fundraising page.
Okay. Perfect.
And y'all definitely, when you're talking to small businesses or large businesses or individuals who own like home-based businesses like mine, tell them if you raise $1,000 on your team by November 1st, we will give you a table at the walk. Actually, they can bring a table and set up whatever at the walk. Now, we are using some discernment there. We have to be selective and make sure that some businesses, although I can't imagine any of the businesses I'm thinking of right now would ever want to have a table, but we just want to make sure it's all family themed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I know I just gave all the girls a giggle and Jeff's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, we just want to make sure that it's all healthy and faith-based and all that. But,
we are a little more, last year we had We're doing a little more vetting with some of that stuff. So just because somebody says they want to have a booth doesn't mean we necessarily will let them do that. We didn't have an issue with booths last year, but we had some things creep in that we were like, okay, this is not okay. We had some furries, who came in that it seemed very innocent, but the deeper we got into it, the more we realized that those could actually have been traffickers in disguise saying that they were. So we're being a little more bold in our, sorry, this is not a match. So if there are organizations that we feel like are not a match, we'll take their donation, but we can't guarantee that. I mean, but honestly, 99 out of 100, it's going to be fine. Like, we're just talking about organizations that are maybe a little bit on the fringe and we don't want something that's going to be super divisive. And so, or represent a value that is not consistent with the values that we promote at the Dream Center. We don't have, as an organization, any problem, if people with alcohol, but a lot of people, who go through our program, that's a big struggle for them. So because of that, that's just one example. We do not want alcohol at the event, and we don't want vendors from alcohol, from those distributors. I've had a lot of people tell me, man, I worked with Southern Wines and Spirit with another organization. I got literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're a great organization. They're very beneficial, but we cannot, because of the nature of the work we do, that is triggering to a lot of the people in our program. So we do reserve the right to say no to some of those vendors, but for the most part, it's fine.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
more information than you guys
Joanna?
have.
Yeah.
So was that you that said yes? Like, I'm thinking in terms of if Arizona Life Coalition wanted to have their own team, because I'm meeting with them every day.
Yeah.
If they wanted to have a table, they could have a table if they raised $1,000 from their team.
Yeah. And we'll do training with all of those people who qualify, and we'll say, you're there to be present. We don't want anybody being attacked. We don't want anybody, being, anything.
Well, they wouldn't.
Yeah. We want classy.
Yeah, got it.
And no costumes where we can't see your face.
Okay.
People really want to wear a costume? Jim, you can't wear a costume.
We were, y'all, I'm just telling you, I'm being transparent. We were blindsided last year when those furries showed up, and we're like, they can't be here because they might be taking pictures. They might be like, and I'm sure they weren't, but it can't happen. Like, no. So, and we reserve the right. I like the way Jeff says that. I say, get out, but he says we reserve the right because he's a classy guy and I'm a mama bear. So, okay, well, we need to wrap this up in the next couple of minutes. Oh, Liz, go ahead. Yeah.
Just one quick question. How can we get flyers like now?
Okay. Alicia, can you help us out there? How can people get flyers?
Yes, I can email you a template if you have access to a printer, or I can work on getting them printed and cut by the end of the week.
Okay, I'll be at the center tomorrow. If you can send me a template, and then maybe we can hook up early next week. I've actually got an event I'm going to on Friday. It would be really nice to have some for that event Friday night.
I'll email the template right after this call. And then if you guys need, I'll just need to know the quantity and size of flyer you're looking at, and then just email me that and I'll work on that for you guys.
I think, Alicia, the quarter page is fine.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Alicia, if you can get them printed, but you don't have time to cut them, we can get together paper cutters or whatever if we do. Because I know you're only one person, although you act like 10. Oh, I think
We missed the first part of what you said.
I know, because my internet, I live in Cave Creek, I live in the desert. So if you guys, if Alicia can get you the flyer, but she doesn't have time to cut them, we just need to know that you guys can jump in and cut them if you have paper cutters and stuff like that.
Alicia, too, if you want to bring a bunch to the Dream Center, since a lot of like it seems like this committee either works, me, or volunteers, mentor teams, whatever that looks like, I can put them in my office and they can contact me too as like that middle ground. So I'd be happy to do that. And we also have
Okay.
a cutter at the Dream Center. So I'd be
Okay.
happy to cut
How much is a
them as well.
bunch?
1,000.
I'm going
Like,
for
are
a
you
lot of
thinking
them.
500? Are we thinking
Probably
1,000?
1,000.
Because
Okay.
Yeah, because I
I-
give them out during pours. We give them out during like the presentations that come. Like we put together these like folders, and I put one in those each time. And then if like somebody, like if Liz is like, "Hey, I'm at the Dream Center on Friday. Can I grab some?"
Yeah.
So like, I think
Okay.
1,000.
You and I
I'll
have,
come-
you and I
I'll come
are
help
going to be in
cut.
front of 500 people in the month of October at least.
Yeah.
I think I think I can.
I have
work
a
on
kid that needs
printing
pillar
them,
hours.
And then if you guys could cut them, I think that's the most time consuming part. I'm happy to do that. I'll print them.
I
Okay.
think that's the big deal, y'all, is the cutting. Because I know I've sat and done that, and I've got a cutter here if I need to bring an extra one somewhere, but I think that's really important. If y'all are doing an event somewhere where we can somehow get you the banner. It's a beautiful stand-up banner. And we're getting a second one, but I don't know when it's going to be in because I'm not the one who ordered it. But you can borrow the banner, just take real good care of it because we broke one last year. It got tired, so it went to bed forever. So, Stacy, did you say something real quick, honey?
I said I have a kid that needs pillar hours.
Needs pillar hours. So she's a mentor team leader. So yeah, Stephanie, give Gerardo. Oh,
Okay.
Gerardo with a paper cutter. No, Stacy, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
But he can still come to my office, and I'll find something else for him to do.
Okay. All right. Y'all just heard way TMI. All right. So Jeff, as always, thank you so much for your time and attention. I do want to let you guys know that our next meeting is going to be the second to the last Monday in October, because the last Monday in October is All Hallows Eve. But it will be on October 24th. It'll be about 30 to 35 minutes long. I want to encourage you guys, send me if you can send it in an email, that's the best. But who are you talking to? Even if you just made a phone call, if you can let me know who you're talking to in businesses, that way we won't double dip. Because the last thing we want to do is come off as, the pushy people. And we want to be gentle. And, if you don't go to Dream City Church, get some flyers to your church, talk to your pastor, ask, can we have just 30 seconds on the stage, the video and 30 seconds. I can literally do my pitch in 25 seconds. Jeff has seen it happen and it was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. And that's when Pastor Luke said, anytime you want to speak, you can come speak. Because
I think it was actually 23 seconds.
Yeah. Because I stood up and said, stop traffic walk, you got to do it. Da, 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 da. It wasn't any fluff. It was get your butts out there and get registered and let's make this happen. Another thing too is whatever church you belong to, if you can get your youth involved, we will come and talk to your youth. I love to talk to young people. I get them totally fired up. I used to be a football coach. So if they don't do what I tell them to do, I say, drop and give me 20. So yeah, so we can do that as well. But this is our time, guys, to plant the seeds and start watering them, because there is going to be a lull for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It happens every year. There's nothing we can do about it, and we're not going to fight it. We're going to do as much as we can right now, and then we'll pick it up right after the holidays. Sound good? Okay. All right. Dream team. Love you guys. I appreciate you. I pray for you every single day. Sometimes some of you, Jim, twice a day. You need it,
I
buddy.
need it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.